Welcome to Spenelli Speaks. Hi everyone, Danny here. Welcome to my channel. I'm in a new location because it took me about 10 minutes to try to figure out how to get my camera set up in my kitchen because I wanted to try to multitask during this video, but it really just didn't work. So it turned into me sitting in my dining room in front of my cookbook shelf thingamabob. And the reason why it's all bumpety is because Dwight is sitting in front of me wanting to be very much a part of this situation. So anywho, I had a great weekend. My mom came and helped me with a lot of wedding stuff. We figured out all of my table decorations, as she liked to say, tablescapes? Is that a thing? I don't know. But anywho, she helped me with all of those, so that's all done. They're all squared away. They're all put in their appropriate bags, ready to go to be put on the tables at the actual reception. So that is awesome. We also got a few other things done, which is really great. Got me prepped for making all of my dessert, which is going to be awesome. And yeah, it was just a really good time. Able to spend some time together, watch a movie. If anyone has Netflix, if you have seen that movie called The Sleepover, I cannot remember the actors' names in it, but it was so cute. It's like a middle grade style movie. It's really clean and everything. It was so darn cute. I loved that movie. It was so good. But that is not the reason for today's video. Literally, I'm going to be doing a tag today because I don't think I've done a tag in like 2 months, and they're really piling up, and I feel bad because people have been tagging me in things and I've completely missed the mark. So I apologize if I have tagged you in something. Remind me. I try to keep track of them, but if you have tagged me and I haven't yet done your tag, just remind me and I'll add it to my list and I'll make sure that I get to it very soon. So today like I said, was in the kitchen and I wanted to multitask. I'm making salsa again, and I was like, oh, perfect tag to go along with making salsa is the chocolate tag, right? I mean, salsa, chocolate, no, not at all. But the reason why I thought of the chocolate tag is because I don't really like chocolate. Like, chocolate is not my favorite thing. But salsa is. So I was like, oh, I'll just do the chocolate tag while I'm making salsa. But like I said, I could not set up my camera very well in the kitchen where I was. So I just came over here and decided to do the chocolate tag anyways. I was actually tagged by Scott and Nelle over at Gunpowder Fiction and Plot. If you have not already checked out their channel, please be sure to do that. They do a lot of really great reviews on books. They have a lot of controversial topics that they discuss, which I think is great. They also have a really awesome series that I love, which is Reading Around the World, and they'll kind of pinpoint a specific country or a region of the world, and they'll talk about authors from that region and great books that have come from there. So definitely check them out. So they tagged me in this chocolate tag, and the original creator is actually Faye over at A Daydreamer's Ramblings, and I had never known about her channel before, so I definitely jumped over there and hit subscribe right away. Remember to support all of your small booktubers and share the love. So let's just jump right into the questions. So they're all related to the kinds of chocolates, and I believe there's like 8 kinds of chocolate. I guess if I were to eat chocolate, I really prefer dark chocolate because it's a little more bitter. So yeah. And the first question is dark chocolate. A book that covers a dark topic. So this could be abuse, domestic violence, rape, loneliness, bullying, death, etc. I think the first book that really comes to mind, and I think it's because I keep thinking about this book because it was just so good, is Homegoing by Yaa Gyasi, or Gyasi. That book is so good. So Homegoing is basically about a family tree and two sides of which kind of branch off, and you see how they were affected through the generations. One, and this is an African tree. So one goes through colonization, where they are enslaved and brought to the United States, whereas the other tree stays in Africa, but still goes through a lot of tragedy through that line or lineage. Very profound book. There's so many dark topics within that, and I highly, highly recommend that you read it. I believe that that same author just came out with another book, and I can't remember what it's called, but I really want to read it because the writing style in Homegoing was fantastic. Really great book. The next prompt is white chocolate, your favorite lighthearted or humorous read. I really liked Abby Waxman's The Bookish Life of Nina Hill. That was such a funny book. Like, it really made me laugh out loud several times. I really had a great time with that. It's basically about this book nerd who works at a bookstore, and she finds out that she has a father after all, and she's written into this will, and she thought she was an only child, and she ends up having like a huge family, and kind of getting to know them is an interesting setback, and it's so funny. It's very funny. I have a rapid review on it, and it's one of those books that was just really super lighthearted. And a little known fact, white chocolate is actually not chocolate. If you check out Kim's channel, Bookmarks and Breadsticks, she just did a candy, I think she was reviewing the book called Candy Freak, and she mentions that in that video. If I can find it, I'll link it below. But white chocolate's like just something else. She explained it, and I was like fascinated because I was like, oh, why do they call it white chocolate then? But anywho, so the next prompt is chocolate with caramel center. Name a book that made you feel all gooey in the middle while you were reading it. You know, Garden Spells by Sarah Addison Allen. There is a little girl in that book. Now, this book is about a family that has been very, very prominent in this particular town, well known, almost witchy, and there's some magical realism in this. And there's this little girl in the book who just is so intuitive and smart and clever, and she just really makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside. So I would pick that for that prompt. The next prompt is Wafer-free Kit-Kat. Name a book that surprised you lately. A book that surprised me. You know what? I just did a bunch of subscriber recommended reads, and Linda from Linda's World of Books recommended that I read The Serpent King by Jeff Zentner. It's a YA novel. It's a coming-of-age novel about three individual teenagers, two boys and a girl, going through high school. What's their next step in life? And at first I was like, oh, this is just another book about coming of age, whatever. And I loved it. It hit me right in the gut mid-book, and I just plowed through it in one sitting because it was so good. The writing was there, the characters are spot on. It was so realistic, so true to, what kids go through, through high school and kind of moving into their early adulthood, that it really did surprise me. So I was really happy to have had that recommended to me because I never would have picked it up otherwise. The next prompt is Snickers, a book that you are going nuts about. Oh boy, am I going nuts about anything? I'm sure I have, and someone right now watching this video is probably like screaming at me, saying that, yeah, Danny, yeah. Oh, Rebecca. I've been waiting all year to read Daphne du Maurier's Rebecca, and it's finally, it was a book for my book club, so I had to wait until now in September to read it, and I ever since I started watching BookTube, I've seen everyone talk about Rebecca. Rebecca this, Rebecca that, Rebecca. And I am finally reading it. So I am kind of going nuts about that. As far as new books, I really don't pay attention to new books. As you know, I buy most of my books at thrift stores. So I don't really go goo goo gaga about like new books until like I finally find them. But yeah, I would say Rebecca right now is where I'm going, what I'm going with. Okay, the next prompt. Oh, and if you want to know what Rebecca is about, it's basically this young woman meets this man somehow, like on a cruise or something like that, and she ends up falling in love and marrying him. Turns out she's his second wife. So when she comes back to his grand estate, she finds out that there was a first wife, and all of the staff is pretty much like loved the first wife, whose name was Rebecca, and she kind of like haunts, not in a paranormal sense, but it, like just her presence, and everyone compares her to this Rebecca, and all you hear is about this Rebecca this, Rebecca that, and she, like, we don't even know what her name is. Like, that's how prominent of a figure this Rebecca was. So I have literally read the first page. That's it. So I'm really excited to get into that. Okay, anywho, rambling. Hot chocolate with cream and marshmallows. What book would you turn to for a comfort read? Ooh, if I'm looking for a comfort read, and not that this is like a comforting book by any means, but it's definitely a comfort read for me, is Michael Cunningham's The Hours. I absolutely love that book. I will literally go to certain sections and just read those if I'm like looking for just some comfort, I guess, or just to feel cozy, just because it was one of the first books that really hit me. It really was a book that I thought about. I also will watch the movie if I'm ever wanting to feel like comforted. It makes me cry every time, so if I'm really in the mood for a good cry, I will watch that movie. It's so good. So that's definitely, for me, a comfort. And then last prompt here, if I haven't missed any, that is box of chocolates. What series have you read that you feel has a wide variety and a little something for everyone? So I actually just finished The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer, and that goes in order. It's Cinder, Scarlet, Cress, and Winter. And I feel like Marissa Meyer kind of put a character in there for everyone. There's like a really charismatic character. There's someone that's really a strong female character, which all the female characters are really strong, but like there's just so much in there, and there's so much of the fairy tale retellings in there. And then there's even some of the extra like novellas that are added on that I haven't yet read yet. So I'm excited to kind of get into those too. So there really is something for everyone. And that's really it for all of the prompts. And like I said, unless I missed one, because usually I end up missing something here. Oh, I did. Milk chocolate. A book that has a lot of hype that you're dying to read. Again, I'm not really good about new books. So I guess maybe the Rebecca kind of leads into that too, because there's always a lot of hype for that. I know, like, here's one that I'm not dying to read. Everyone was all getting hyped up about Ballad of Songbirds and whatever, that, you know, Suzanne Collins book, the prequel to Hunger Games. I was like, whatever. I'm done reading that series. I don't need another book. And then same from Stephanie Meyer's Midnight Sun. Again, I read that like 10, 12, 15 years ago. I'm good. I don't need another one. So I haven't even thought about it. I'm just like, meh, I'm good. So I don't really get too much into hype. I kind of wait for everything to die down, and then once I find it at thrift store, then I pick it up. So, but yeah. Any other ones I missed? No, I'm pretty good. Okay, so of course, always tagging people, because why do a tag if you're not going to tag somebody? I'm not saying that you have to do this if I tag you, but let's go ahead and tag Kim from Bookmarks and Breadsticks. I almost did breadsticks and bookmarks, but I think it's bookmarks and breadsticks. Since I mentioned you earlier, why don't you go ahead and do this tag? Because, I mean, you talk about food, all of your food books, you have to have some really awesome answers for these prompts. And let's go ahead and tag Mindy from Mindy's Book Journey. She has been having some really great videos lately, and I've been really enjoying them. I'm so backlogged on videos, but I'm getting through a lot, and they've been really awesome. And then let's see, Charlie from Charlie Heathcote, you are really pumping out some tags. I wonder if you've done this one yet. Well, if you see this and you want to do this tag, please go ahead and do it. And then anyone else that really likes chocolate, or like me, really doesn't like chocolate, go ahead and do this tag. I will see you guys all later. I have to get back into my kitchen and make some salsa. So I hope you all are having a great night. I hope you're taking care and staying safe. And until next time, you know how it goes, guys. Happy reading. Bye.